Okay, just a couple of things before we start. For those of you that have suggested me as your celebrity, oh, that did make me chuckle. Thank you. Thank you very much. I will sign autographs later. Oh dear. Now then, I have to say this page has given me a really good giggle about the celebrities coming to dinner, because it's my own page that's made me laugh. Now I'm going to take my journal off to the side to 1 minute because I need to prepare. So I'm just off at the side taking something out. Alright. So this is my page. So basically I've made a pocket. So we love a pocket. And I've got my invitation, and I've left it so that it's a flappy up bit, so that if I want to write on it, I can write on the back. Maybe I could write my questions on that I want to ask my celebrities. Okay, so I mentioned in the previous video which of my celebrities I would be inviting. Alright? I hope you're prepared for this. As I say, it did make me chuckle. So, I also said previously as well that I like, it's one of my all-time favourites, is the film The Colour Purple. Alright, so bearing in mind who I've invited, then it kind of ties in with the film. So here's Oprah for her role in The Colour Purple, and I've put them onto lollipop sticks. So there's Oprah. So that was her role in the film. Here's Whoopi. That's her in her role in the film when she was a little girl. I think I'm going to colour the flowers purple as well. Here's Maya Angelou. So, as I say, put them on lollipop sticks. So, I think I'd have those three together because of their connection with The Colour Purple. So, I think that would be an interesting mix. And then I've got Bette Midler. Bears no resemblance to what dress she's wearing at all. I've got Melissa McCarthy looking real dapper. And I've got Sandra Bullock in a party frock. Oh dear, these did make me laugh so much. So what I was thinking of was, because this is obviously fantasy and I'm never going to get to meet these women, I thought what I could do is I could stick glasses all on the table when I'm having my dinner one night, and I could just stick the lollipop sticks in the glasses. And then I feel that I'm talking to each of them then, can't I? Oh my God, they'll be coming for me in a white jacket. So basically what I did was I got loads, and this is a mere fraction, I've got loads of the Tim Holtz paper doll peoples. And so I decided to use those, and then I printed off their faces so that they were big enough, or maybe too big in Whoopi's case, to sit on top of the paper dolls, and then I stuck them onto the lollipop sticks. So I'm keeping them all in a glassine bag so that I can keep them in all their glory. I can't get over how much this has made me chuckle. Oh dear. I don't know whether it's a good thing when you laugh at yourself the way I do sometimes. So they're all going to sit in my glassine bag, and then I'm going to sit the glassine bag in the pocket. So yeah. Oh dear. So there you go. Those are the ladies that I'm going to be inviting to dinner one night. I hope they never see this video. Okay, I'm going to go on to today's prompt. But just before I do, to let you know that Sunday's prompt I'm going to be doing as a live on YouTube. So it gives you now plenty of time to go and look at the time difference. It will be 5 p.m. UK time on Sunday. Now I realise it's not a suitable time for everybody, but you know, I can't be there for everybody in the world because we are all at different time scales. So you can watch it on replay once the live has finished, okay? And in that live video, I'll be covering 2 prompts for you to work on. But for today's prompt, this is what it's going to be. So this is my page 20 for the 20th of February. So let me write the date on 20th of the 2nd, 21. Okay, now you're only allowed to use these 3 items to create your page. What you do with them is entirely up to you. So you've got to use stencils, punches, and die cuts. Okay, so you're only allowed to use those 3 items on this page. What you do with them, entirely up to you. Now, one of the things that you'll find is because our journals are becoming so bulky, on some of the pages it's going to be difficult. So it will be difficult for me, for instance, to do stenciling on this page. So what I might end up doing is doing my piece of art on a separate sheet, which I'll then stick into the journal on top of that page. Okay, so you might need to consider doing that. Now, this prompt gives me a great excuse excuse me, to use some of my new dies that I've purchased. That's not a new one, but that one is, and this one is. I'm also going to get out some of my Stampin' Up dies that I've not really used. I'm going to have a look at those. I'm going to use some of my Stampin' Up punches. I'm going to use some of those. And then I've got this one, which is the Tim Holtz one, but I could also use these to make my stencil as well, the same as I could with any of these. But I've got loads of stencils as well, so I need to have a look through my stash and work on a little bit of a theme utilising what I've got. Alright, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to end up doing it on a separate piece of paper and then sticking it into my journal. But you're only allowed to use stencils, punches and die cuts. Okay? So let's see where your imagination takes you now. Now, one of the things that I like doing is something that I actually mentioned yesterday. And I said I should have had it as one of my favourite words in my crossword, and that's smooshing. Smooshing. Love a bit of smooshing. So I get like all my scraps. So I've got several scrap bags, one with patterned papers in, one with whites, one with tea and coffee dyed. Or whites and creams, I should say. So it's a great way for me to use these scraps up, is to do smooshing with them. So I'm going to use a slightly larger piece and try it with all sorts of different textures, so it doesn't matter whether it's card or paper. Some will work better than others because of the density of the fibres, in the way in which they're mushed together. Some of them are really densely mushed together, so they won't pick up the inks as well as some others. So, you know, scraps is a great way of learning how to play with them. But the smooshing technique is one of my favourites, and here's some I did earlier. So as you can see, look, I've just done them on scrap bits of paper, and I've just smooshed some of my distress inks onto my silicone sheet here, and then just put them on the paper. I'll show you in a minute what I do with them. So I thought because I've got a few greens and golds and I do like to have a small selection of them ready, I thought I'd try some purpley colours. So let's start with, I think milled lavender is quite pale. Can't remember now. Been a while since I've done a bit of purple. Not too bad. So smush a bit of ink on there. Smush a bit of that one on there. Oh, heck, I didn't want to do that. This one's shaded lilac now with a bit of a mix of the milled lavender in it. And we'll also put a little bit of dusty concord on there too. So I know this one's quite strong, so I don't want too much of that. So I'm just going to try and get the corner on. And we'll also try a little bit of tattered rose though. I have a feeling that this one may sink into a little bit of insignificance, but we'll see. Okay, so you smush a bit of inks on there. And this is from the kitchen section. You know, I haven't gone and paid fancy prices for a craft one. I've just gone and got a kitchen one. And then I've got my spritzer and I just spray some water on it. Now, at the moment, it will just bead up. So if I come in from an angle quite close, I can move the inks. Okay, I can also tip and tilt and get them to run. The only thing you have to be careful of with your tipping and your tilting is that if those colours all start to mix together, sometimes they can make a yucky brown. So then you just get your paper, smush it in there, and then you can dry it off. And then once it's dry, you can go back in and smush again on top again and just dib and dab. Maybe that should be another word as well, dib and dab. Dib and dab and pick bits of ink up on top and then dry it again. And so as you can see, it starts to create some really lovely little effects in there, and you've got some emergence of colour as well. But it's great to have a little selection of these, and I'll show you what I do with mine. So these that have got the more earthy tones to them and sort of more greens and golds, when you use die cuts like these, they create some beautiful shading and colours throughout, and they look more realistic rather than just die cutting them from a full set of green paper, you know. So it creates some great effects for these kinds of dyes. Now the purple and pink one, I would actually use the likes of my butterfly punch. So again, you're getting those beautiful colours. If I show you up close, you can see all the colours within. If I move it round, and how beautiful are those butterflies going to look when you punch them out. So I'll do this one up here. So look at that, look, how pretty is that? And I'll show you the little one. Cute. So that's why I like to have a selection of these already made up. And then again with the punches. So this is a leaf one with those greens and golds. Let's see, that one I think. Again, if I move it around, you can see the colours inside and how it starts to look more realistic. So let's do one about there. This paper might be a touch thin. Let's give it a go. Oh, no, it worked. But doesn't that look more like a realistic kind of set of leaves than just punching it from a solid piece of green card? So as I say, I like to have a few of these smushed sheets to the ready so that I can create those kinds of bits and pieces. Have fun playing, and I'll see you all again tomorrow on the live 5 PM UK time. And just to give, it's the only time difference that I know. So I know that in New York, because they're 5 hours behind us. That's midday. So that's on the east coast of America. It's the only one I know. So if you can use that as your guide, 5 p.m. UK time, and using 3 things in this one. See you all tomorrow. Bye.